Good morning, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for joining us at Avivo's Achieving Dreams event this morning. I'm Jean Crane, President and CEO of Bremer Bank, and I have the honor of serving as the chair for Avivo's Achieving Dreams breakfast event, and Bremer is so proud to be this year's presenting sponsor. Our central purpose at Bremer is to cultivate thriving communities, and Avivo's work is crucial to that endeavor. Avivo has been serving the people who need our help for over 60 years, working to provide education and homelessness, prepare people for employment and success, and support recovery and mental health. Avivo provides the opportunity for nearly 13,000 people every single year to find treatment, recovery support, mental health services, housing, and career training. Last year alone, because of Avivo's work, 3,000 people found employment, another 2,000 individuals moved off of public assistance completely, and more than 800 people experiencing homelessness found housing with supports. Every day, Avivo brings its vision of a community free of health and economic inequities into closer view. This work is even more important today as communities across our country grapple with the impacts of the pandemic and a national reckoning on systemic and ingrained racism. Each one of us, businesses and individuals alike, are called to make a difference. This morning, you will learn how, and I hope you will join me in partnering with Avivo to help give everyone the chance to live well and work well. We will be honoring Target Corporation as Avivo's 2020 Celebrated Community Leader for their focus on upholding equity and inclusion for underserved and under-resourced communities. We're also looking forward to a conversation with Target Corporation's Kira Fernandez, Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer and Vice President of Human Resources. So grab your cup of coffee, sit back, and get ready for inspiring ideas and stories. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dylinda Robinson. Dylinda is the warm welcome as you walk into Avivo. And if you've met Dylinda, you know that. You never forget her. Dylinda, take it away.
Thanks, Jean. Good morning, all. We are here at Avivo and we are live. We may hear a few noises in the back, but we are so grateful for Bremer Bank, our presenting sponsor. The reason why I love working here is because of all of our amazing clients I have met through the years and the transformation that has taken place in their life. And guess what? I would just love to chat with you today online. Grab your Avivo tumbler, donate online with a text. Thank you for being here. We have a very special video. Thank you.
Life was rough growing up. I came from a single mother home. I came from a gang-infested environment. Drugs was all around me.
I was living in what they call a trap house with both of my kids. There was always fighting, arguing, problems, because of course that all comes with drugs.
I was raised by a mother that had severe mental illness and a father that had addiction. I thought I could work my way out of those problems and started self-medicating.
Well, I was kind of like a hopeless drug dealer. I was doing drugs, I was heavily addicted, and everything started to go downhill, and I ended up being homeless. Just something clicked inside that made me think it has to be something better.
I didn't like myself anymore. I hated everything. I hated life, my dead-end job, my dead-end relationship.
One of the unique things about Avivo is they're one of the few treatment centers that actually allow you to have your kids with you. I think it's so important. That's what keeps you going. That's who needs you.
They gave me a place to stay, and then just used that as a stepping stone as far as me getting myself better.
I got a case manager. She hooked me up with lots and lots of resources and started my journey to recovery and to becoming my best self. She introduced me to the school at Avivo so that I could get education.
Avivo helped me out a lot through career counselors. It was great. They helped me with my resume, to put my resume on Indeed.com. Avivo was definitely a big part of my recovery. It was the first step towards the rest of my life.
I learned how to manage my feelings and express myself rather than just getting high. I learned that there's still hope out there. Having housing is like having hope.
It's like Avivo's got a whole package. They help you with everything. I decided to do the medical office, and they helped with interviewing, mock interviews, pretend interviews, how you dress. Now that I'm more healthy, I'm a medical receptionist for a nurse triage line. I think the combination of having services all in a whole is so important when it comes to recovery of mental health and addiction. They're a big reason for the success that I have today.
How I would describe the Jeff of today is a complete 180 from the Jeff of old. I'm currently going to school to be a licensed alcohol and drug counselor. Now, instead of putting my energy and creativity into negativity, now I'm putting it towards bettering myself.
Since I've been sober and in treatment, I'm a lot happier. My kids see a whole different person. All in general, I feel like I'm a whole better, different mom.
I now have tools and resources and can understand what what happiness really truly is.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us at Avivo's Achieving Dreams event. Thanks also to Jean, Bremer Bank, and our own Dylinda for starting us off so well today. As Jean shared, and as you saw in the video, Avivo believes everyone deserves the chance to live well and work well. Avivo has a long history of helping individuals with the greatest barriers to success. Most are currently or recently experiencing homelessness, living at 100% or below the federal poverty level, chronically under or unemployed, in recovery from substance use disorder, mental health barriers, or other disabilities. But all are determined to move out of poverty and to do the work necessary to do so. Avivo also has a long history of partnering with Minnesota businesses, helping them fill in-demand positions while moving people from poverty onto paths of upward economic mobility. Our Business Partnership Council is made up of businesses from the Twin Cities and the St. Cloud area. They work closely with our school, the Avivo Institute for Career and Technical Education, which trains and places hundreds of diverse candidates into today's jobs. Businesses Avivo partners with are leaders in the community. Each year, we recognize a celebrated community leader who provides outstanding leadership. They significantly improve the lives of people in the Twin Cities and beyond. And with our themes focused this year on inclusion and social equity, Avivo is proud to recognize Target Corporation as our 2020 Celebrated Community Leader. Target has been advancing inclusion and equity for all through supporting Avivo since 1982. Their initial support helped Avivo assist low-income, underemployed women advance their wages so that they could better support themselves and their families. With Target support, Avivo helped women increase their income by at least 50% in a year. Target has also helped advance Avivo's efforts to end homelessness by supporting our transitional recovery housing that provides safe housing so individuals can focus on treatment and recovery. This makes all the difference in the world for people to access and complete treatment and achieve recovery. And over the years, we've had more than 80 Target employees participate in 13 different volunteer events to benefit families and children in our programs. And most recently, Target made a multi-year commitment to Avivo's Empath program. This effort, based on brain science, is designed to provide participants a bridge to permanent self-sufficiency. It focuses on improvement in the areas of family stability, well-being, financial management, education, and employment. This commitment by Target to innovative solutions to challenging problems is worthy of our recognition. We are thrilled to honor Target as our 2020 Celebrated Community Leader for their commitment to upholding equity and inclusion for underserved and under-resourced communities that enable shared prosperity and opportunity for all. I am pleased to present this award to Kira Fernandez, Target's Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer and Vice President of Human Resources.
Thank you so much. This is an incredible honor to receive this as on behalf of Target and all of our partners here. We think about the work that you do at Avivo and the work that we do at Target. And again, in honor, and so look forward to the continued partnership. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you. I'm so excited also to have this conversation with you today. The power of working together, particularly around building stronger, healthier, and more equitable communities. With the recent charged atmosphere around race, and only magnified by the pandemic, some businesses and coworkers are wondering how to be a part of positive change. Target is indeed a leader in diversity and inclusion. What is Target's commitment, and what are you doing?
Well, first I would like to say, again, thank you for this incredible honor and the opportunity to speak to everyone today. We've been on a 15-year journey around our diversity and inclusion and, frankly, equity goals. And that journey has included standing up an official office of diversity and inclusion, being really focused on understanding the landscape and how ultimately at the end of the day, our goal is to ensure our team members and our guests are having an inclusive and equitable experience. Our purpose is to bring joy to all families. Inclusivity is one of our 5 core values. And so it's just been a very natural evolution of our business strategy, our diversity and inclusion strategy, and how we want to ensure that team members that work in Target, that our guests that shop in our stores, that the communities where we do business are experiencing equity and inclusion and feel that their diverse perspectives are valued. So specifically at this time, and when I think about, I'm here live from the Twin Cities area, what we've experienced in our own community here locally, it's just shown a light on where we still have pretty significant work to do, and how we can start to value humanity, and how we do that in partnership with those that we've been working with for many, many years, not only in the Twin Cities, but across the country is really important to us. Our guests are the thread of this company as well as our team members. And so this is, again, aligned to our purpose, aligned to our values, and the way in which we're continuing to be focused on our workforce, that we're a pillar of the community, we're strong because of this community, and we have to serve the community equitably.
Absolutely. A 15-year commitment is commendable. And I love how you used the word humanity as well when you're talking about a corporation like Target. And so you know that you are impacting your guests every day. You know, how does Target's diversity and inclusion commitment impact the larger community?
Sure. Thank you for that question. We have a number of ways in our strategy that we think about that. We think about the experience of our guests. And so if we start there, it's access to products, making sure that our suppliers and businesses and partners that we work with have the same commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion that we do. Listening to the communities where we do business, where there's moments that we have an opportunity to think about our assortment and think about our marketing and our signing, and constantly reevaluating not only the in-store experience, the digital experience, because we know so many of our guests are interacting with us through a number of different platforms. But thinking about the guests from the second they pick up their device to the moment they walk out of our store. And in between those intersection points, whether it's a digital connection or a human connection, being really focused on our guests, the communities that we're in, the demographics that we serve, and making sure that our products and our signing also connects to our communities and where we have stores and the pretty dynamic needs of the guests of our country. The second thing that we really focus on is our team member experience. And so obviously making sure that as much as possible that our communities where we have our stores understand that they are part of the Target family. That's not just because we might be right in the middle of the intersection of different neighborhoods, but would you work there? Can you shop there? Do we have the essentials that are important to you? Do you feel welcomed? Do you feel seen? Do you feel valued? And certainly that's a continuum of growth and development for us as it is for any business, but we're putting our commitments behind making sure that the intentions that we have around inclusivity experiences for our guests and for our team also translate into tangible impact. And so it's a comprehensive strategy to focus on diversity and inclusion. It's about the experience for our guests, the products that we have available, the partners that we work with, ensuring that you have an equitable experience when you're engaging with us. And that's really important and a pillar to our strategy.
So this is why Target is a leader in this area. And I love the pillars of your strategy and the comprehensiveness of your plan. You are thinking and responding to everything. What are 2 or 3 things that any business can do? You know, if they're not as large as Target, if they maybe don't have the same resources, they don't have a comprehensive plan in place now, what are 2 or 3 things that any business can do?
That's a really powerful question. And I'd say agnostic of your size, the first thing that you can do is really think about whether it's your purpose or your vision, what is your business in service to? And at the end of the day, if every business is somehow in service to a consumer, no matter what that business is. And so when you think about what your business is in service to, and you can do that, that's step one. The other thing is when you know that your business is in service to a consumer, a person, what do you know about that person? What do you know about that consumer? What's important to them? What do they value? What do they care about? And if you think about those 2 things in tandem, whether you have an abundance of resources or you have to be really scrappy with your resources and your capital or whatever it is that you're operating with, you can learn a lot about how to engage in a relationship if you're very clear on those 2 things. Because what we do know about our consumers, certainly in our country, is the demographics of those consumers are shifting every day. The experiences of people are dynamic. The needs of our community are dynamic. And so, but even in that, the one thing that is important to everyone is that they're seen. And the best way that you can communicate to someone that you see them is to ensure that whatever it is that your vision or purpose is in service to is inclusive of who they are. And that's really the transformation of inclusivity and diversity and equity. It's recognizing the things that are similar about us and celebrating the things that are different. And that's just broadening the tent. So you start with, okay, these are the similarities, and it doesn't become a zero-sum game because the richness of businesses that are growing and flourishing is they understand the needs of their consumer. For us, our guests, and they don't minimize those things, but they expand them. Because the more you expand, the more you open up the opportunity, the more you welcome other folks in, the more that you're meeting the needs of our dynamic workforce, our dynamic communities. And I know that was a long answer to that question, but I think that that's something that you can do in your business, whether you're resource abundant or resource strapped. You can just focus on what's our purpose, what is our vision, and how are we connecting that to the needs of people.
Thank you. That was not a long answer at all. It was a great answer, Kira. And it's so important for all of us to take it right back to our vision and our purpose. I love that our visions are aligned. Vivo's vision is around creating economic and health equity for everyone in our community, but all businesses have a vision and a purpose. So thank you for not simplifying it, but bringing it back to that for all of us. It makes it feel more easier to execute on and to do something about. So how about for our guests today joining us that aren't leading businesses? They don't have a business that they're running, but maybe they're feeling unseen, or they want to do something and they're not sure what to do. What ideas do you have for individuals to personally impact their workplace?
Yes, I think sometimes we tell ourselves a story that to be a part of change, or to have a gesture of help, that it has to be some grandiose, like really extreme action. And I think that the best thing that we can remind folks it's the small things that you do every single day that have a meaningful impact. And the accumulation of the small things is just as important, if not more, than a big grandiose gesture. And both of those things are equally as important. So I would start with, like, what do you feel compelled to do right where you are, right in your neighborhood, right in your community? What do you see as an area of opportunity? Because you know this as well as anyone. It's really easy to lend your time and your talents to organizations that are looking for that. And those are the day-to-day things that you can do right where you are. Like, what does your local community need? Is your polling station staffed with election judges? What would that process be like? How do you find the local organization that is really been impacted by COVID and is looking for support that you can do in your own home? There's an abundance of things that you can start right where you are in your own community. Once you start there and you're like, okay, I'm doing that, then how do you share that voice or share other organizations where you have an aligned perspective and aligned focus, and get in partnership with them? It doesn't always have to be monetary. It can be your time. It can be your connection. It can be the way in which you evangelize the things that are really important happening in that community to show a light on it. So my philosophy in that area is, and I do this myself, I am very guilty of this, like, I'm just not doing enough, because we tell ourselves a story that enough has to be sometimes things that other people see or other people recognize. And that's just not true. It's the things that you can do every day right where you are that are just as important, if not more. So start there. Like, get on Google, put in the area. No, you know this. Like, what is the area that you want to focus on? I want to help teenagers. I'm really focused on, families that are struggling with COVID. You can put in anything in that local community, and up will pop multiple organizations that I'm certain can use the help and the support of all of us.
Once again, thank you, Kira, for personally, I know you're making small and large gestures, as is Target, making small and large gestures every day that are making a difference. And thanks also, I feel like you set me up a little bit, because partnering with not-for-profits like Avivo is a great way to advance diversity in the workplace. Hiring of diverse skilled workers, employers can get involved in our Business Partnership Council and give of their time and their talent. And Avivo partners with businesses to train existing workers on site to help incumbent workers increase their skills. How might there be opportunities to partner in greater ways, between businesses and not-for-profits around greater diversity and inclusion?
I think that continuing to build upon the strengths that we have. And Target right now, like, we're hiring in our stores and in our distribution centers right now.
Right now.
Like now, we're going into like this really big season of ours. And I'll tell you, I started with Target in stores. That's where I began my career. And it was the most fulfilling experience. And whether you want to just work a couple of hours a week and start to get yourself back into the workforce, or you're looking to build a career, like we have opportunities that meet both of those intersections of a person's personal aspiration. And so we're really thankful and happy that we've had a continued partnership in how we continue to focus on creating equitable workforce experiences for everyone who is interested in a time at Target or building a career there.
Thank you, Kara. And thanks again for bringing it back. I think so many of us start our careers in retail. And it's awesome, to start at our Target. Collectively in Minnesota, you feel like our Target. So what a beautiful story, showing your path from retail to corporate executive and focusing on inclusivity and diversity. I think that's awesome. And I feel like I should be taking notes during our conversation, but I'm sure the Avivo team just heard you say that Target is hiring, so thank you. And just thank you so much for sharing your knowledge today with everyone in our audience and helping us all see that small and large gestures, they don't have to be large gestures to make an impact in our communities. Thank you so much, and congratulations again to you and Target for the impact you're having.
Thank you guys so much. I'm going to keep this in my house until I can take it back downtown as a reminder of the incredible work that you're doing and all that we still have to do together. Thank you guys so much.
Much work to be done, but thank you for your impact. Now, I'm excited to share with you one Avivo program, the Workforce Diversity Program, that helps to address the need for communities of color, LGBTQIA individuals, and recent immigrants to be served by professionals from their own communities. These professionals offer culturally specific and responsive care. With the Workforce Diversity Program, Avivo partners with colleges and universities that train professionals in the field of mental health, coming together to proactively develop a more diverse workforce for the community. Surrounding diverse professionals and staff with support to overcome barriers in education, licensure, and employment prioritizes the development of diverse clinicians. Let's hear directly from Avivo team members with first-hand experience in this program.
Diversity workforce is inclusion,
supportive, encouragement,
cultural competency,
long-term support, empowering, and compassionate.
I would say when we look at historically the populations that are served by social services as well as behavioral health services tends to be communities of color as well as those who are members of LGBTQIA. But when we look at the providers that are available to those communities, we find that there are much smaller numbers of individuals that represent those communities serving the population. When providers of color are able, or even providers from the LGBTQIA community are able to give services to those in the community, we see that there are higher levels of functioning, that there is more empathy.
This program matters to me because it supports my mission and goal to work for a community that I represent. There is a lack of Black mental health professionals in the nation, and I take it as my goal to reduce that overwhelming gap. So currently I'm doing my internship at Avivo, and I'm getting the stipend internship, which means that I get paid. Great for me. Being a mom, I can maintain my finances and also receive the education that I need to become that Black mental health professional. It's allowing me to become that person that they can rebuild their life with.
I have families and friends who's impacted every day, and it's so hard for me to find someone who get it or who understands them. And so having the ability and having the resources to be one of them be one of that person who can be a part of the change, who can tell someone it's okay and listen and make them feel comfortable. This is why it's important for me.
This program actually provided a way for me to receive 2 licenses in regards to being able to pay for my first one, then reimbursing me so I could pay for my second one. The other thing that I've gained from being in this program personally is just having a group of people that I can rely on and get support from, and having this camaraderie amongst us that makes me feel like I belong, when sometimes you can feel like the outsider in these professions.
Since I graduated from this program and became a licensed social worker, I've had a lot of my staff who are folks of color come out to me and said how proud they are and how now they really want to go back to school. I got a license. I'm a social worker. I'm a licensed social worker.
I'll just point to my license too. Got my license.
Did you get it?
Yeah, girl. I got both.
This has been an amazing opportunity, and I'm really grateful that I have been at Avivo to be one of the recipients of it. It's been a blessing.
Next, we have an opportunity to hear firsthand about the impact Avivo has on lives in our community, offering the services needed to truly help people achieve their dreams.
I was at Tent City. I always have a bottle on me. And at the time, my fiance was in the hospital. He was real sick. He was drinking a lot. We both drank together a lot. I'd leave the hospital and go to Tent City, go visit my family and check on them and hang out for a little while. And then I'd go back to the hospital and be with him. He just ended up passing away. I was pretty much giving up hope. I was real sick from drinking, and I was like, man, I'm probably not gonna live much longer the way I drink. There was a big tent across the street, and people told us that if we go over there, there's people in there that are trying to help people to get their own apartments. When the ladies came to ask me if I wanted to get my place, I said yeah. So they took me and I signed papers and they gave me a tour and they gave me my apartment. It was like that fast. I was in my apartment for like 2 weeks. I just didn't feel the need to drink no more. I quit drinking that day. It was October 31st, Halloween. So to this day, I've been sober for a year and 2 months. As soon as I got my place, I switched up my whole game plan. I went straight sober and got into school and got a job, got a bigger apartment, and I'm going to school for business management. Reason why is because I want to start my own business within the Native community, just to experience the Native lifestyle and to learn it, and most of all to pass it down to our future generations so we don't lose our culture. Avivo is really needed out there because they got a lot of people into housing. That was really nice how Avivo, Red Lake, and Beacon came together, because they got people in apartments like that day. I feel a lot more healthier and a lot more confident, and I know that there's a lot of things that I'm going to be doing in the future. I'm really booked.
What an amazing story. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing your story with us. I'm excited to hear more about Melissa's journey and to visit her business. I've always loved my work as a banker because I have been able to see firsthand how powerful banks can be in strengthening our neighborhoods, from helping a corner store get off the ground or a family buy their very first home. Avivo's work follows that same path, helping to build strong communities by supporting people in our communities who need it most. We know that people who have the opportunities and tools to be successful use them, and their success benefits all of us. Giving to Avivo is an opportunity to invest in the lives of people, future employees in our own businesses, and engaged members in our community. I invite you this morning to make a gift to Avivo, a meaningful donation that compels you to make the most difference. And here's what our gifts can do. A gift of $5,000 provides a full scholarship for an Avivo student in a training course to achieve credentials and enter a career path to earn a living wage. A $2,500 gift can provide a day of housing and treatment services for 15 women and their children. A gift of $1,000 can help support a week of street outreach to connect individuals experiencing homelessness with housing and vital services. A gift of $250 can provide a professional outfit for interviews and 1 month of public transportation for job hunting or transportation to a new job. Whatever amount you give today, it's an investment in making our communities healthier places to live and work. The good news is that it is easy to give. On your mobile phone, you can text Avivo, A-V-I-V-O, to 50155, 50155, or you can visit avivodreams.org. I hope you will take a few minutes to thoughtfully consider a gift to Avivo. Thank you so much for your time this morning, your support, and for believing that everyone deserves the chance to live well, work well, and achieve their dreams.
Thank you to all of the businesses and individuals who donated today. You can still donate by going to avivodreams.org even after this event has ended. Thanks also to Jean for hosting. Bremer Bank, our presenting sponsor, and all of our sponsors. Your support enables us to continue to build stronger, healthier, and more equitable communities. We also have many opportunities for you to get more involved with Avivo, including helping out with various volunteer projects. Volunteer support Avivo by donating items from our wish list or volunteering on site at one of our many locations. You can find more information on our website at avivomn.org. Thank you so much for being here and have a great day.